This is technically my second intro, but for today. Yesterday's intro, or yesterday's closing was yesterday's intro. Right? I don't even know what it is, but I do know this. Today, I want to head to Target before I take Vicente home, but I'm thinking that I don't necessarily need to go. I could just take them and then go after. I wanted to get some t-shirts, like just some white tees, just some plain white tees. I was thinking because the Hanes white tees are so much thinner than the AAAs that we be buying from the neighborhood, you know, like the Dickie outlet. And I don't want to have to deal with the heat as much as I know it's coming. So I figured that I'd go with a more climate friendly t-shirt. So if Vicente's playing with the water, I'm sure it's dripping all over his forehead, but if it isn't, good morning. Yo, what's good everybody? Let me set up the camera really quick. Do the best that I can for what I got. I just had the worst clothes that I've had in a long time. Took me back probably 2.5 years ago, where I was, let me tell you something. When you have what is called the perfect storm, that means anything and everything that could go wrong does go wrong. That's one thing. But when you have just a bunch of shitty situations that happen and you just have to roll with the punches because it's already too late to bitch and moan about it, and you don't have any kind of means to react sufficiently, it is the worst feeling ever, let me tell you. In tonight's vlog, I really just want to touch base on the fact that there will be times and there are going to be moments like this one where you feel like you are fucked. Like you're expecting that you're going to go back into, like, basically, here's my truth. I hold myself to such a high standard. Let me just take it all in because I'm just thinking about it right now and how much it sucks. But there's so many reasons for what happened tonight. There's a lot of bullshit reasons for things that happened tonight, but they're reflective of the leadership that was there, and that's me. And there is no excuse for whatever it was that was going on that we could have just all pulled through. It was ridiculous. It was busy as shit. I had enough people to cover the register front end, so I wasn't worried about that. The problem was that it was a shitload of customers that were just leaving everything everywhere. That's the kind of scenario or situation that it was. If you work at like a Burlington Coat Factory, TJ Maxx, Ross, what's the other one? What the hell's the name of the other one? Can't even think of it. It's a competitor to all of them. Probably not that much of a competitor, but you get it, you understand. Even the rack, like the Nordstrom rack, sometimes end up shitty. It just felt like a bomb had went off, and when I thought that we could be close to finishing, all of a sudden shit just loaded up, and it was nuts. Right now, I'm just gonna be honest with you. Right now, I'm reflecting in my head what I could have done differently. It's 4 fucking o'clock in the morning. 4 o'clock in the morning exactly on the dot, and I'm just thinking to myself, what could I have done differently that would have changed the situation that I left with? Makes no sense. Makes no flipping sense. Trying to figure it out. It was that kind of night. But I'm not discouraged. I know that I'm gonna learn from tonight, but the problem is that when situations like this happen, when nights like these ones happen, where you have just a shitty situation on top of another shitty situation, it's rough and it sucks and it takes a toll on you mentally. You feel like you could have done more, you could have stayed longer, you could have did all of these things. So many things you could have done that you wish you could have done, that you, if you had the chance, you would have done. But you're not an octopus. At the end of the day, having the mindset that I have, having the, you could have everything going for you as an individual, as a leader, all of those things. But there's going to be nights like this, or there's going to be days like this. There's going to be things that happen, events that happen in your life like this, that will just feel like, fuck, what the hell did I do to just put this on my plate? Karma kind of stuff. But in work situations, it's not related to karma. I'm just reflecting on everything. It's like, fuck. Back when I used to have my old car, I used to have a 1999 Honda Accord, clean, everything, right? This is the kind of night, if you have a Honda, then you know, this is the kind of night where your distributor would be fucking up, and right when I go to start it, it'd be like, I'd be like, what? It's 4 o'clock. Tomorrow I work at 11. I got money. I got mad money that says I'm gonna go in there and bust my ass to make this shit right. I refuse to let it be this way. I'm gonna go in there and bust my ass. So whatever I gotta do to make this correct, I'm gonna have to do it. And that's how I think, because I know that this kind of stuff happens. I work retail for a while now, and every single time that a situation like this occurs, usually it starts to happen around the 3rd and 4th quarter. But think about how early I am in the season. It's like 1st quarter, no, 2nd quarter. It's already 2nd quarter, and it's like shit like this is, I mean, back to school, this kind of shit happens. But I don't know if I'm gonna be able to pull any of this shit together. But the truth is that I wanted you guys to know that things like this happen, and it happened to me at not at one point at all through the whole night at all did I ever feel upset. Did I ever question my ability? Did I ever feel like any of those things? You know how I felt? I felt like, fuck, I gotta do something about it now. I did everything that I could about it now, so that I can make it up to the person that was gonna open the store. And I thought that it was gonna be my store manager, so I just did everything that I could. And I just kept thinking, like, is this how I would want to leave it for my store manager? Is this how I would want to come into the store if it was me? Every single thing that I could think, it was reflected on the person that would be the ultimate person that I wouldn't want to see it like this. And everyone was like, do you want to leave it in the back? And I was like, no. And I was like, no, I want them to know what we're leaving, what they're coming into. I'd rather them see it right away, so they'll be able to react right away. So when they go upstairs, they'll be like, boom, let me just go ahead and fucking make some calls, get some people in to get this shit taken care of. At the end of the day, you don't want to hide from what your mistakes are and what it is that you did wrong. You want to step up, own them, take the feedback, and react. And at the end of the day, worst case scenario, doesn't mean that you're not fit for the job. Doesn't mean that you're not a good leader. All that it means is that everybody stands to learn something from every situation. Good night, guys.